today.
Hey, good Tuesday evening, one and all. Welcome back to Grumpy Acres. It is time for another weekly update, general chat, and just a grand old time here on Tuesday night. How's everybody doing? Hope you had a great week. Before we go on, let's see who was in chat.
Okay.
Oh, Starla was in chat first. Then we got Tamara. Then we got Okay, Shannon. I'm just going to call you Shannon's because I tried telling her your full name, and I was like, man, this is a mouthful. So please don't take it personally. Okay?
I knew who he was talking about.
Okay, so don't take it personally. And then let's see here, the Terminator's in the house. Let's see who else got in here. Shannon just bought the Chosen series. See, Shannon, you're gonna have to watch that and give us a
I didn't hear good things about it.
Terminator got a foot of snow last night. Skanes is in the house. There's another working girl. Yeah, you and Skanes are both working girls now.
I know.
That doesn't sound right, does it?
I guess it depends on who is translating the communication.
Jane, how you doing? Was that corporate talk I just heard?
You know exactly what you just heard. There's Lynn.
Lynn, how you doing, man?
One of my favorite men.
Jody.
Jody.
Jody's here in the house. Well, you know what? Like I said, I hope everybody had a great week. The weather finally warmed up today.
Mm-hmm.
We had 3 nights.
Seems like it's been longer than that.
We had some really cold weather. In fact, we were under a freeze warning last night. Well, let's start at the beginning of the week. Let's talk about what did we do last week after
planting.
You did. You and Tiffany did a lot of planting. Tell them what all you did.
So we got some. Well, I did. I got some stuff out in the front yard in the raised beds and got some of that stuff done. Then we went out in the greenhouse and did quite a few different things. So we did the dirt. Tiffany did hers with just the dirt. You know, it's the little 4 thingy. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you call it. And pack it with the dirt and then squeeze it out. You have a pod.
You make these little dirt cubes that fit on and they bottom water.
Fit on a flat. And then, we're bottom watering everything out there. Sorry, guys, I just got in from work.
So. I had to fill the water up this morning.
Yeah, and it did okay?
Yep, it did okay. They were starting to dry out. Oh, HG showed up.
Well, they will. You got to look at the bottom. Remember, I told you.
I was looking at the little test tube.
All right.
HG showed up. We missed him. He snuck in.
Yeah, son of house.
So what all did you get planted?
Everything. Squash, watermelon, cucumber, herbs, pumpkins, all kinds of goodies.
And I got amaranth, bunch of different types of lettuce put in. What else?
Ooh, there's a squash called mashed potatoes. And so Tiffany planted some for her and I planted some for me, and for the neighbor, I'm planting for him his starters.
She's getting inundated by rain, apparently. He feels he got to build a raft.
Yeah, but that's not coming our way, is it?
So the major challenge last week, and we did have a major challenge as far as planting goes. Chickens.
Chickens have been a challenge. Damn chickens.
We decided we were going to do a bunch of stuff in containers. We got the big blue mineral barrels and big planters, and
they're even in my raised bed.
Yeah, they're in the raised. Yeah, they're being a pain in the butt.
I planted a bunch of herbs a few weeks ago. they're all coming up now, and
Well,
I
they were.
can't tell what they are because the chickens have been eating them. So who knows if we're gonna get any herbs? But I grew some inside just in case and put some in pots on the porch.
Shannon says that they miss you on ladies' night. They keep getting the same card,
The same
the
card.
bank run card.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to put them out, separate them so that there's 10 different decks, and then I just go through each one and pick those questions. So, but that's how I do it. But yeah, at some point, so right now I'm busy. I'm planting. We're doing everything. My poor house is neglected. Because the injury, so it was slow anyway. But now it's like massively neglected because we're outside. And so, what used, like I said, what used to take me 5 minutes now takes me 3 days. So it's not like I can just go out there, get everything done, and come in and clean.
I forgot to tell you, we have sunchokes coming up.
Good.
They survived.
They died.
We planted sunchokes out there on the south side of the metal coop, and last fall the sheep and goats got out. There wasn't a fence around it, and they just tore everything up. They destroyed the amaranth, the sunchokes, and there's something else in there too, wasn't there? Anyway,
yeah, I had beans and stuff in there, but those won't come back.
It destroyed everything, or they destroyed everything. So I fenced it in, and I thought the sunchokes weren't going to make it, but they're coming back up. So that's cool. Let's see.
Still faster than government work.
Hey now, I'm government work. But I run on Indian time, so it's cool.
Oh man, I tell you, I've been fighting a computer all day, so that's what I was doing orientation today. And
did you tell them what you're doing?
No, I didn't.
Do you want to?
No, I don't.
Okay, she's not going to say.
And so, because then people know where I'm at.
Okay,
that could cause a problem. And so, and if you're local, you'll run into me anyway. And so anyway, but yeah, so I'm like dying. I've been sitting on my butt all day, and it's not going well. I got to be in front of the computer tonight. I come in and she looked at me and he's like, "You okay? You gonna make it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just need to stretch out."
Well, she bought a bottle or a box of Franzia wine.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Mr. Franzia. You're saint. But anyway, she bought that because
trying to get up the carbonation. If I can switch it out and get away from the carbonation, maybe it'll help with some of the inflation.
Yeah.
And red wine's supposed to help to expand the veins and that kind of thing. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. And now that I'm working, I have to be up early and all of that. So, just give me some to relax, take care of the body.
She's actually going to be out of the house before I am tomorrow, which doesn't happen.
Yeah, that never happens.
Let's see what else went on. Oh, we had the OG camp out, the Midwest Preparedness original camp out. She did not go. I refugee camped, and that's basically at the last minute grabbing whatever you think you may need and throwing it in the truck and going and sleeping in your truck, which is exactly what I did. And it was cold. It was cold and windy all day long. I think maybe we had 20 minutes worth of sunshine all day long, but we spent all day standing around the campfire talking. The turnout was really small, and part of it was because of the weather. Other part of it was because people had stuff to do. But it was nice. It was nice seeing people. A bunch of people did not spend the night. At the end of the day, there were only 7 of us that stayed the night. Yeah. And quite honestly,
because nobody else was that crazy. Hey, LP.
Hey, Quite honestly, I got up. I woke up at 5, and I was nice and warm. It got down to just above freezing, but I was nice and warm right up until the point that I had to get out of the truck to take care of business. And I was like, and I laid there for about 30 minutes scrolling through the internet and destroying my brain. And then finally at like 5:40, I was like, I'm just going to go home. I am just going to go home.
Well, and I wouldn't have known that he was going to stay the night if I didn't call him. He had no intention of telling me that he was going to stay the night. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Because the rain and everything, you were going to come home.
I said if it was raining, I was going to come home.
It was raining.
It didn't rain. We didn't get any rain.
Well, I don't know. Honey, you can't crawl on me like that. You know better than that.
But then, took care of all kinds of other business. Fixed the dang exhaust on the car for like the umpteenth time. And I finally told her that if this fix does not stay, I'm just ripping the whole thing out and starting from scratch. Had to replace the muffler because it rusted out. And ever since then, the way the pipes are on an Impala, I just could not get it cut right. So I had enough to get them stuck together, and I'm not welding them. My welder's not up and running yet. But I finally think I got it. Was it making noise yesterday? It didn't make any noise today. Okay. So it didn't sound like a hoopty mobile.
No, it just looks like one.
Grateful Heart. Oh yeah, it's always looked like a hoopty though. Even when we bought it new-ish, used.
Yeah.
It was looking like one. What else did we do? What else went on around here?
There was a lot, but I can't remember.
It's just
like my brain is not rested.
the whole week. Hey, Rickster.
When I walk in the door, grab something to eat, and then am told that I have 5 minutes to get on the computer.
You had more than that.
I didn't get home till 6:30.
You had more than that. Don't lie to these people.
Whatever.
Man, we got all the old crew.
Hey, Rabbit.
Come back, Rabbit's here. Yeah, all in all, it was a good week.
Yeah.
We managed. We finally may have gotten clientele for our sheep, selling our sheep, which is a good thing.
And request for us to add livestock.
Yeah.
So we're going to be adding this summer.
Well, and we talked about it last night. I'm finally going to pull the trigger on the rabbit pen and get the rabbit pen built up. I'm going to put it right next to the run for the duck and chicken coop. There's the dog kennel run that I built. I'm going to build it right next to that, so I don't have to put as much material into it. And plus, it'll be shaded. It'll be between the coop and the greenhouse, so they should be a little bit protected from the sun in the summertime, and in the wintertime, they're not going to be getting blasted by the wind directly.
Yeah. Oh, and I still Tractor Supply's clients for chicks.
Well, tell them how that. Don't mention any names, but tell them how that all transpired.
Yeah. So there was some people that I had recognized that were coming in, and we kind of walked in together.
She was in there getting water for the second brooder,
and that's all we have up here local is a Tractor Supply. So there's that, and so I went in there to go get a water, and you have to walk by where the chickens would be. And they were like, man, there's no chickens. Oh, wait, there's some chicks. And I looked over and I said, no, that's all they have left is guineas. And he's like, oh, I got guineas. And I said, is that all you're looking for is chickens? And he said, yeah. I said, well, I happen to have almost 60 in the brooder right now. And I said, I'll sell you some. And he said, how much would you sell them for? I said, it's $5 a chick. And he looked at the prices of Tractor Supply, turned around and looked at me, and he goes, deal, I'll take 10. And then they told somebody else. And so now that person wants chicks.
I did not talk to him today. I was so busy.
Oh, did he call you?
No,
she's supposed to call me.
Oh.
And so anyway, my number was passed on to them. And so she's supposed to call me,
Jody.
But I was working, so I couldn't do it. But the nice thing is that when I was telling G everything, I'm like, hey, you got to butcher this many, and we have these orders that need to go out. And because we have 3 people, well, 4, they're going in on it together. So it'll be half each. And then so we've got
wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
That's what local prepper says.
Yeah. And so it finally was like Garen took a big deep breath, and it looked like the weight was coming off of his shoulders. And he said, this is exactly where I wanted to be. So guys, we started all over. So if you think about it, let's just go that we started from scratch, right? Mm-hmm. Even though we brought our livestock with us, but it took us 3.5 years to build this, to get to that point. So you got to be patient.
Well, and the problem that we had was that we kept our flock big enough that we always had animals to sell, and we had a clientele for the sheep.
Yeah.
They would buy the sheep,
yeah.
and we'd get it butchered and all that. And we moved out here, and we don't know the area. Everybody raises sheep out here. There's a bunch of people that raise sheep.
Yeah.
And Topeka's so far away. We don't know Topeka. We don't know the quite frankly, the Mexican and immigrant communities are the ones that eat the sheep. Not a lot of Caucasians will eat sheep. They don't like it because they've never had it.
Except for up here. Up here, there's a lot of white people that eat sheep.
Are there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, except for up here. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And I did I did some lamb for him yesterday. And he asked me, can you figure out a way to slow cook this for me? And I was like, sure.
It was a what, 8 ribs?
6.
The side
4.
a small rack of ribs.
And so I think I packaged those in 4. And so I'm like, how do I want to do this? And so I sous vide it.
If you don't know what sous vide is, that's when you put it in a plastic bag. We vacuum seal it.
So when I get all of the lamb ready for meals and stuff, I do the marinade and then I vac master everything.
Mm-hmm.
So hint LP. I vac master everything. Right. And
LP's taking out the trash.
That seasoning and the meat and all of that together. So it's ready to go, like if you were going to throw it in the pan. So then I throw everything in the fridge. So literally some of the stuff is marinating for days. And so by the time we get to it, I put that in there. It came out. It tasted like roast beef.
Yep.
It was good.
It just fell off the bone. I told her if you took so whenever you butcher a sheep, you get two racks of lamb, and then you get 2 short rib. And if I was telling her if she would do that to all that, she could take it off the bone and then like
just do the whole rib.
Yeah, just do everything, and then put like smoked seasoning on it and barbecue sauce, and you got pulled beef, right, or pulled lamb that would just be chef's kiss.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good stuff. Yeah, I was happy with that. And so we did that, and then I only have 2 more physical therapy appointments, and I have graduated. So for now, anyway,
till she hurts herself.
No, I have an appointment, so I got a feeling that they're going to want me to go to physical therapy for my neck, and maybe not. We'll see.
It's because they need the money, or they want the money.
No. They want me to not break my neck and not be paralyzed.
I'm sorry, I don't trust the medical industry anymore. They're in it for money.
Anyway, so yeah, we're starting to get bills in. So we're not very happy with the medical system right now.
Well, with
and then the fighting I had to do just to get the billing taken care of.
But back on the animal thing.
Yeah.
It's really kind of weird because in like 10 minutes, we made almost as much money selling those 10 chicks as we did selling eggs the 2 previous weeks.
Yeah.
And so we talked about it. We've got all these chicks in these brooders, and so this is something for you guys to think about, the timing of it all. We decided that
I wanted to start early.
Hey, Christopher. Well, okay, so here's my concern. So last year we got too many chicks too late. And then when winter rolled around, we lost like 4/5 of them. Like we lost 40 some birds.
It was ugly.
Right. So I'm concerned about doing it too late into the season. I told her I want to hatch the last batch of chicks late June, early July. That way, by the time winter rolls around, they're 5 or 6 months old, and they're going to be more hardy, right? So we were thinking about it. And how many runs did we say we think we could get? 4 between now and the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can do 4 runs, we talked about it, and we're going to sell all the chicks that we've got now, except maybe replace a couple of chickens that we've lost.
Well, because these guys won't be laying until August, September anyway.
Yeah.
And so then, you take that into factor, then my thought process is they slow down in the winter anyway. So we really won't see any production out of these guys.
Which is fine.
So, sell them off and do that. So I've got Bressies and Californias and Kentucky.
Did you see Christopher? You said his grandmother used to keep a small flock of sheep in her eastern Kentucky farm.
Yeah, sheep are easy and they're nice.
Sheep are a good starter animal.
Gentle giants.
When you start making the jump from the small animals like chickens and rabbits and quail and such, sheep are probably, in my opinion, well, I don't know. Pigs are pretty darn easy too. Stay away from goats. Stay away from goats as a beginner because they will burn you, and you'll never want to do larger animals ever again.
I told Whitney she needed a goat And then Whitney turned to Andrea and said, "You need a goat." And I said, "I got one ready. I got a bottle baby ready to go. Somebody's got to take her." Starla goes in with, "Woo, breaking news. Senate votes 100-0 to end aid to Azerbaijan." And that's it. I don't know how I feel about that, but interesting. But you got some stuff going on down there in Texas, Starla. So
well, let's do that after.
Yeah, we'll talk about that because you need to be focused on what's happening in your state. Y'all in big trouble. Governor is investigating. We'll get into those details.
Oh, you see that?
Nope.
Rabbit Coyote just posted a whole bunch of videos today on his YouTube channel.
Yay.
All the things he's gotten planted and the new chicks and all the good homesteading stuff.
Good deal.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about these chicks is we'll be able to make a little bit of money, and it's just supplemental.
No, it's what we figured. And so in looking at it, we more than paid for the feed.
Yeah.
And the equipment that we needed to get.
Mm-hmm.
And and bedding and all of that. So I'm happy with this.
Well, and another positive thing. See, this is constantly be looking.
We're eating for free because now we're eating for free because us selling is paying for the feed.
Yeah, but we sat down last night and brainstormed some business ideas, and the one we came up with that I think is going to be really good is we're going to buy one of the small freezers, the ones that actually it's a freezer. It's not
it's like a 5 cubic foot. It's not very big.
And
it's like a refrigerator freezer.
When she does the flea markets or the garage sale or whatever they're calling it now at the Nation,
I can just take the lamb with me.
We're going to take some vacuum packed lamb and some tamales and freeze them and sell those because quite frankly the freeze dried food sells. But that's not where we make our money, to be honest with you.
We make our money on the sheep and
you make when we go to festivals.
Oh, and I make a crap ton of money on my tamales.
Makes the money off serving food and now the classes.
Yeah,
the paid classes. Yeah. So we're gonna keep.
I need to get with Kiri. We're missing each other, and so she's busy. I'm busy. We got to get things nailed down.
HG says reminder those in Arkansas are driving through the next couple of Fridays. Free Tree Fridays, info and schedule at agriculturearkansas.gov. Oh, their forestry department or whatever they call it down in Arkansas is giving away free rootstock.
Isn't it Earth Day or something like that?
Well, Arbor Day's coming up. And that's next month, but Terminator says she's involved with the community fighting against a lithium battery storage facility, a company trying to bring it into our community. Oh yeah,
I knew that was coming. So we're calling that the Great Land Grab. It's happening all over the United States.
So I don't know if I can show it.
Oh. And here's the thing, Terminator, they want to put that stuff in your backyard and it poisons everything 5 miles around it. You can't grow anything. And none of that energy will be kept in Canada. Like none of ours is being kept in America. So
Starla, if you scroll up a little bit, Rick kind of spoiled the surprise. But we were gonna talk about it. See now.
Is he getting into
there? It is. Rick's letting her know. Rabbit says he's sprouting dwarf
moringa.
Oh, moringa and persimmon seeds at the moment, and I
didn't even know that there was such thing as a dwarf moringa.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just had to cut them back. I'm intrigued, Rabbit. I want some seeds.
Yeah.
Because the moringa tree I could do in the greenhouse year round. I wouldn't even have to take it out.
Well, and that was a cool thing about the green. Tell them about your bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado. Tell them about that. Tell them what was special about that particular sandwich.
So it was from the greenhouse. And so and my freezer.
Not all of it.
No, not the avocado, but but there's a lot of people who think that you cannot eat off the farm this time of year, and that's just not true. I've got herbs coming, guys. Oh my goodness. George and his wife, when they came through Kansas, they brought me this special blend of basil. And when Fee was over here, I had Fee taste it even, and Fee was like, "Oh my gosh, I've never tasted anything like
Where's
it.
this?
It's wonderful. It's this one right here.
Right here?
Nope. Yep. Yep. I've never tasted anything like it. It's wonderful." And so super excited about that.
Oh,
Are you gonna try it?
Oh
Just smell it, but
it
taste
almost
it.
smells minty.
No, taste it. There's no mint to it.
Oh my.
Isn't that great?
That's a good, and that's a young leaf. I can't wait to see how that tastes whenever it's
I had it on your lamb. The older ones I put on your lamb.
That's good.
So I got seeds from Baker Creek Seeds, Yoda. They're good for container growing. The dwarf moringas. I'll check them out. Short people inquiring minds need to know, Rabbit. Yeah, so Skeins is like, me too. And then
you can't reach the top of the tree otherwise.
Right. And so I like that idea. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna have to look now. Dang it. Good thing I got a job. So yeah. Mama's getting into having some spending money.
Almost killed the comfrey and the horseradish that came out of the greenhouse. So I put some roots in there last fall, and they started blooming very early. In fact, the comfrey was starting to flower out. In fact, it's got flowers on it now.
Well, now that you put it back in the greenhouse.
Well, and I brought it out, and the wind kicked up, and it got really cold Sunday night. Yesterday morning,
it was in shock.
They looked terrible.
They were like,
both and horseradish and comfrey are pretty hardy plants. Now the stuff that's outside that's growing is only about 6 inches tall right now, and these are good.
They're
what, 2.5 feet tall.
2.5 feet, yeah, every bit of it.
And then again, the chickens, all the leaves of the comfrey down low were half eaten, which is fine. I mean, that's
my comfrey bed outside. I come pulling up yesterday afternoon. I come pulling up from where did I go? Oh, I was at work, and I come pulling up, and guess what's laying in my
probably
comfrey
a turkey.
bed? Big white furry dog.
Oh gosh.
So
she's kind of a moron.
And
she's not very intelligent.
I said something to her, and she looked at me like I was the bad guy because I was telling her to get out.
Oh, here, hang on. I want to show you guys something. Let's see if I can do this.
What are you doing?
Well, hang on.
What are you doing?
Hang on.
You can't explain yourself at the same time?
No, I don't want to.
Oh, yeah. Check out this baby. This was fun.
Can you guys hear that?
She gets so tuckered out with that ball. It's funny. I got tired because her potty pet, she's potty trained, guys. That's so weird. She thinks she's a dog. It's bizarre.
She missed the pad today. I was a little upset.
Oh, did she have the pad folded over?
No, she just missed it.
Does she still, she didn't have her towel in there anymore, does she?
No.
So we need to get another towel in there. That's why. So she's probably laying on the potty pad. So I've noticed this is a thing. So if she's laying on the potty pad, a clean potty pad, she will not use it. And so it's a thing. So we got to get her another towel for her bed. But yeah, Rabbit says he's deaf. He can't hear you.
But yeah, that was last night. And so here, see, this is one of the benefits of being on the live and chat is you get to see previews, because that's a short that I did today. I'm just going to post it sometime in the next week or so. But you guys got a sneak preview of what's coming up on the channel.
Yeah. So nobody cares anyway. They weren't watching it.
I know,
like zero comments on it.
They're talking about Texas and
yeah, I don't know why everybody had to ruin it. Like the details aren't even in there. Like you guys aren't even talking about the details. So like this goes this goes way up a high chain. So, but we'll get into that a little bit more, like we said, back behind it. And
oh, we got sidetracked.
yeah,
I was going to tell them about the flea market.
you did.
Did we talk about the whole thing?
Totally.
Okay.
Well, you said about the meat and that kind of thing.
Well, okay. I guess
you really taking a freezer. Like, how many more details are there? So,
see, I'm out of it too. It's been a rough couple of days at work.
Yeah.
But what else went on around here? OG camp out, planting, chickens.
Pretty much it.
Sheep. We got. I'm butchering 2 sheep on Sunday. 2.
3.
No, 2 for clients, and then I'm going to do ours later on because we still got food. I want a little bit of time on Sunday.
Okay, off of the air, we'll talk about the other one.
Okay.
For that week, that day.
Okay.
So I guess Matt's, and we can always call Matt and see what Matt's got available. I know he's got one available.
Well, it's not that I don't have one available. I just, after 2 sheep, I'm going to be tired.
Well, that's not until the May 8th.
Oh.
That they need that. Rex, so I don't want to give everything away. Yeah, don't give it away. Man, I did a lot of research on that.
Let Angela have her time.
Gosh, my life. Yeah, Rex, I'm sorry I never got you called back. I am so tired. But it's hard working. I want to go back to being a housewife. So
you should have thought of that before.
And anyway, it's hard here too, but try it like tomorrow. You have to feed her tomorrow. You have to make sure that she eats something out of that bottle because I will not have time tomorrow.
I can come home if she doesn't eat in the morning. I can come home. Okay, lunch. It's not a big deal.
Okay. And then, well,
it's one of the joys of working close to home is I can take my lunch. And
I'll be home at 12:30.
Okay.
So I can feed her then, but I at least try. So
I do try
because she usually starts hollering about 10. And anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And that I got a job, but you guys know that because we've been talking about it.
Yeah, but you don't want to tell her.
Well, I just got a job. It's not nothing fancy or anything else. It's a
job well done is the reward in itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And remember, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Actually, you know what? I don't care. I got a job up at Casey's up in town. And I was actually and I'm telling you this because I'm actually pretty darn impressed. So if there's a Casey's near you, you guys need to be using it. I just from what I was watching and getting their history and their story and how they do their food, there's a lot of stuff that they do that's made from scratch. And if they run out of ingredients, they cannot go to the store and just buy it off the shelf to continue making you pizzas. They shut down the pizza line and they will not make those pizzas. And so everything that they say is true. I didn't believe it because I had never seen it, but everything they say is true. And then I'm telling Garen because I'm like, you're not going to believe this. And he's like, the donuts? And I'm like, yeah, we bake them. We do all that. And he was like, get out of here. And I said, no. And we're like, no wonder Casey's food is so good.
Yeah, a lot of Casey's food. I mean, if you like that poison in your body, it's good.
But the thing is that the Casey's pizza, so like, here's the deal. Like with that, there's not a lot of preservatives because it's all made from scratch. So all the preservatives that you would get from buying one out of the freezer at the grocery store, you don't have that. So it's really not terrible. Now, what size you get?
Casey's is based here. Good breakfast pizza, FYI, and it's a gas station with a kitchen. Yep.
Those are all fresh eggs that we have to make and all that. Yeah.
It's great. Oh, I used to love on hunting week stopping in at Casey's and getting breakfast pizza and cheesy tater or potato bites, which are terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible for you, but they're so good. Especially on a cold August or autumn morning.
Yeah, see, Skane's girl, yeah. Even the breakfast bowls to go, yeah. And so I'm like really excited, but I'm having a problem. I have a problem. I have one problem with working there. I love the kitchen equipment. And so I'm like dreaming of my processing kitchen.
I told you, if the apocalypse
you guys,
comes,
the mixing bowls, the mixer, you wouldn't believe. Oh, it's beautiful.
I told you, when the apocalypse comes, I'll go get the GSA from my work, and we'll drive it up to Casey's, and we'll load all that
load
stuff
everything up in Casey's.
When we hear the apocalypse bell go off, we're gonna go, let the looting begin.
Great. We have to start with the company that I work for. But
During the apocalypse, they're gonna go out of business.
No, you know what I totally think? I think that we need to just look for some of that commercial equipment, and we can do a help Yoda get her processing kitchen equipment of her dreams fund. You all can help me get it.
Oh, HG coveted a Viking gas stove. Oh man, those are worth coveting.
Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna be sinful and covet something, that's something to covet.
That's it right there. Yep. I got I forget what that's called, but it's a real big oversized one, but it's not I would have loved to have the Viking, but I was shopping in 2021 and me, and it was hard. Spent a lot of time crying and very upset. So the refrigerator freezer that I wanted, it was like, so your large size refrigerator, side-by-side freezer, that was one refrigerator, and then the other one, that was one freezer. And during that time when I wanted to order them, it was a 1.5 year minimum waiting period to get them in.
So Lynn made the point that a lot of restaurants are failing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So the two online websites that you need to check out are, number one, equipbid.com.
Don't tell everybody.
Well, but they're all over the country.
I'm willing to drive to Texas. I'm willing to drive. I'm totally willing to do this to go get my stuff.
But equipbid.com,
you guys look at it.
Purple Wave.
If you got nowhere to put it, you just let me know. And my boss is flexible, so I can just take off and go get it.
Sons of Hack says PCI auction to find a website to find auctions. There you go.
I thought you were on my side, Son of Hacks.
Let's see.
I'm telling your mom. She'll
church he went to had two. They were going to the same renovations, and I not so subtly offered to take one if they didn't have room. Unfortunately, they made room. They were
the Son of Hacks knows. He knows exactly what mixer I'm looking for, and Son of Hacks, this one's actually bigger than that.
Tamara says you can stay with her while you're looking for your mixer.
So the large one, Son of Hacks knows exactly what I'm looking for because he's been keeping his eyes peeled, and so has Hacks. So they know what I'm looking for. They know what I want.
Okay. I'm going to share my God moment with everybody.
You share your God moment, because that was actually after your God moment. Do you realize I was in the same having a God moment? Well, so you share yours.
So I came home Sunday, did chores, got cleaned up, went to church. Number one, I left my sunglasses there, and they're ballistic U.S. Army issue type of sunglasses. And I left them there the week before, and I was like, yeah, there's no chance they're going to be there.
I think it's a church. Of course they're going to be there.
Well, you know what? I've been to some churches where that wasn't the case. So anyway, I get there, and they're sitting right there on the shelf next to the front door waiting for me to pick them up. So I was like, awesome. Anyway, so I'm getting out of the truck, and I had my stocking cap on, and I reached up, and I had my keys in my hand, and I grab it. And at the same time, I hit the lock button, and I throw everything out of my hand into the truck and shut the door. Door's locked. I'm locked. I locked my keys into the truck. So anyway, I scrounge around. I find a coat hanger, and I spend 10 minutes trying to hit the unlock button, because I left the window cracked because it was warming up a little bit. Could not do it. And I was like, I need to get this done. I'm starting to get frustrated. And all of a sudden, something came over me and said, just go into church, go sit down and enjoy the sermon. And I was like, okay. And so I threw the coat hanger in the back of the truck, went into church. As God is my witness, as soon as my butt hit the pew, I had an epiphany on how to get my keys out. And after the sermon, I really enjoyed the sermon. After the sermon, I walked out there, grabbed the coat hanger, and within 10 seconds had the keys out of the truck and was getting into it. So it was definitely a God moment, because it as soon as I hit that pew, it just occurred to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe in coincidences. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Son of Hex, for having my back. Thank you for answering those. Yeah. So then that happened. And then you got the information from Tractor Supply about the chicks. Tell me about that.
Oh, I had to go in. What was I picking? Oh, I was picking up chick feed, the chick starter, because we're almost out. Our bag was almost out, and
they filled out of chicks faster than they did last week.
All they had left when I went in there, like she said, was the guinea chicks, and they had a lot of them. I don't know why people don't like guinea. They're obnoxious and they make noise and they're squirrely.
If you raise them with ducks, they quack.
Anyway, the kid was walking by and I was like, "Man, you guys got cleaned out of chicks quick, didn't you?" He said, "Yeah, we 2 days ago, all the they put the watering troughs in there with the chicks in it." He said all these containers were full of chicks and they're gone now, and they're charging what, $6.50 to $8 per chick.
Now Tamara's taking my mixer. Damn it. What's wrong with these people? There's no loyalty in here anymore. I'm going to cry. Anyway, but yeah, so, and then there I was, and then all of a sudden a plan came together and the feed's taken care of. Now the animals are feeding themselves.
Yeah.
So,
well, for the time being, we got to keep it going. You always got to work at it.
Yeah, but
and then it caused us to brainstorm getting the rabbits in place so that we could feed the dogs.
Well, and we literally had the one person that got the chicks and ordered the lamb. He wants rabbits and he will buy several rabbits all year long.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to go ahead and go with Colony.
Well, and what we figured that between the 3 dogs, giving them rice and rabbit, they'll eat 1 rabbit a week.
Yeah. I don't even with the rabbit. They don't really even need the rice. It can be rabbit.
Well, if they're getting 4 ounces of rabbit a day, then yeah, they'll get rice.
I think they would. I just
maybe once or twice a week we just give them nothing but meat and bone.
No, what I'm saying is that they can have eggs. They can have egg and that. That's a lot of protein.
Okay.
Straight protein and straight from the farm. So.
Yeah.
But yes, this is it. Son of Hacks has me. He's got my back. Steam table. If it works, yes, I would be interested in the steam table. Because the way that we do
Tamara wants a margarita maker
classes and get-togethers.
Hey, Randy.
Somebody had, I kid you not, somebody had a margarita maker. Where was that? It was a restaurant.
The Mexican restaurant down by Sam's Club that closed.
Yeah. Yeah, the commercial mixer is what I'm looking for. Yep. Yeah.
So and the only problem with the commercial mixers is you got to run those special. You got to run the big, like 240.
But guess what? I have an electrician for a friend who can totally hook me up with that.
The Rabbit says he did pick up a 1 pound refill setup from Walmart the other day for $10 in the clearance sale. So now I can refill all these little green bottles laying around here. I still, I've been working on a kit with Hacks for almost a year and a half now. Putting together, tell me what you think. I mean, guys, here, seriously, in the chat, tell me what you think of a propane survival kit. And basically, it's got all the attachments you need in the case of an emergency to run propane. Like, they make gravity fill switches that you can fill the green bottles off of the big ones. And they've got ones where you use the pressure off of it, different couplings and adapters. I think something like that would be really beneficial to somebody trying to Taco Bell in a hose. Would be beneficial to people. Well, people that are in the know, people like you, people like the Grumpy Acre family would be in the know, and it would come in handy for them. But we just haven't. The prices on the parts have just been all over the place, and it just really wasn't. It wasn't financially responsible to put one together one piece at a time. So we've been batting it around. I have a scale that weighs the little propane balls. Yep. See, Rickster thinks it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Of course, Rickster's from Utah. He's a little strange.
Oh my goodness, games. HG started that.
So Hey, fart jokes are funny.
I know poop is funny. It just is. So,
Okay, so we've been going on about the homestead for the last 45 minutes.
dang, we had that much on the homestead. We usually don't.
I think we milked it a little bit.
Did we?
Yeah. So
Feel like I got all that done.
So what do you guys okay, share the Texas information since you can you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's down in somebody said yes, and now near Waco. It's not in Waco City, but it's near damn it. Now I can't remember where it, but it's the east
Plano.
Plano. Yes, thank you. It's Plano, Texas, and it's not in the city of Plano, but it is in the county, and it is the East Plano Muslim center that has formed out there. Now they're already out there, so this is not a new group coming in. So, but what they're doing and what they've done, they've already purchased the land, and we're talking hundreds of acres, and they've purchased all of this land out in the county, and they are building a ginormous mosque out there in the plans, and they're putting in over 1,000 houses, and they're going to have their own community with their own laws, and everybody is going, what the hell? Well, so once an investigation started, because the question is, where are they getting all the money to do this? And yet they're saying that they're tax exempt and all of this other stuff. Where is this money coming from? So the governor of Texas has actually launched an investigation, and state's attorney is involved, all of them. It goes, and come to find out, it's all over the state of Texas. Well, guess what? It's not just Texas, guys. This is going on. I know for a fact this is going on in Kansas City. And in Kansas City, they're not even hiding. They're in multiplex housings with private gates. And, you know, it's an issue. It's here. It's out loud. And now they're coming to the country. And everybody is like, what the hell? They're funneling money. Garen thinks it's coming from Turkey.
Well,
not sure.
no. If you look at the sources of funding for mosques in the United States, the government of Turkey is by far, it used to be Saudi Arabia, but Turkey kind of took over and is by far one of the largest contributors to that stuff, giving people money to build Islamic centers and mosques and such. And see, and this is a problem in my mind. Number one, full disclosure. And if this upset anybody, tough. I have a problem. Islam is not a religion. Islam is an ideology with three distinct branches. You've got the religious branch, which acts as a beard for the other two, and the other two are political and military. And you cannot do an unbiased study of Islam and not come to that in my opinion. That
I think Tamara's missing the point. Okay, she says, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, well, here, I'm getting there, Tamara. I'm getting there. Okay, so it's an ideology. It's got a religious component, but it is an ideology, much like atheism is the religion of the Chinese Communist Party. All right, much the same way. So these communities, these Islamic communities, and even though I disagree with their religious stuff and all that, it's America, and they're free to do that. But the problem is, they come in and they have set up Sharia courts all over the United States, and they do it. They start in areas that have politicians and judges that allow them to decide legal stuff outside the U.S. legal system. They're coming to legal decisions using Sharia law and not U.S. law.
So this is 432 acres.
432 acres. So there's the problem. The problem is they create these little enclaves. They've done it in Dearborn. They've done it. New York City has Islamic security guards that drive around in cars that look like police cruisers. You can go online and you can find them.
And under Sharia law, if I went walking in there the way that I dress, And, I don't I don't have anything showing, nothing's hanging out and that kind of thing. I'm pretty conservative. I would walk in there and I would be beaten.
No, okay. That's a little over the top. No, in America, you would not be beaten.
But they're in a Sharia law.
Right now, you wouldn't. And if you go look, there's a chart out there that maps.
Yes, the Texas Rangers are also involved in the investigation.
There's a chart out there that maps how Islamic communities behave at certain percentages of the population. Mm-hmm. And if you look at what's going on in Britain now, you've got no-go zones, you've got Sharia courts set up that have nothing to do with the legal system. You've got policing, government policing that treats them as special entities and does not allow any critique or any complaining about it. I mean, the grooming gangs in Britain are a prime example. They didn't want to upset the Islamic community, so they let these Pakistani grooming gangs run rampant for 11 years. And it took Elon Musk saying something on social media last fall to get it brought to the forefront.
Starla's yelling at you. Or Tambra's yelling at you.
Well, Tambra was yelling before. and after this week, I'm not listening to any woman that yells at me. And it wasn't her. What Tambra ask?
It was a statement. She said, right there? She said, I said,
oh, there's a church
that they take their ARs to church. But so if it's a church, it's a church.
No, she's talking about a Christian church where I assume you're talking about that. So there's a church that they go armed every week.
Yes, there's lots of churches that are armed every week. Yeah. Our church is armed every week. And so
even more armed now. I talked to Cowboy and asked what I wasn't caring because I didn't want to run the risk of offending anybody. I didn't know how people would feel about it, but I talked to him, and the church is very security minded, which made me feel really good.
Yeah. Well, the issue behind all this, guys, part of the investigation where the money is coming from is because how do you put it? He put it very eloquently. Something doesn't smell right. It smells like terrorist funding. And so
I'd like to comment on what.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Lynn says he grew up about 2 miles from Dearborn. I've been around the Muslims most of my life. It takes about 3 generations for them to assimilate. Well, and there's the problem, Lynn, is that paradigm has changed.
Yep.
If you look at what's going on in Britain, which they've had a 20 or 30 year head start on us, the younger generations are the most radical now. They are the ones that are radicalized the most. Hey, stop. And I have no problem living in peace with somebody of a different religion or ideology, or whatever you want to call it. I have no problem with that. The problem comes in whenever they don't want to live like that. And history, past performance dictates future expectations. That's the rule for today. Hey, stop it. If you guys walk away from this live learning anything or taking anything away from this, remember.
Oh my gosh.
Past performance dictates future expectations. Hey, crates now. That always gets them to shut up. But so yeah, it's changing, and it's going to change here in the United States. And and quite frankly, people in the United States are not ready for what's coming our way. Right? So that's and it bothers me. It really does bother me because we should know better as a people.
But Starla just threw that out there.
What's that? You need to realize the position of Islam in the Bible. Well, okay. Number one, there is nothing in the Bible about Islam unless you start talking about prophecy, because Islam did not exist.
Right.
Islam did not exist until about 700 years later. If you start talking about prophecy, that's all. I don't want to call it speculation. Is not the right word. Because it's under interpretation. Let's just put it that way. You can interpret it however you want, and people do, because people are terrible, right? Let's see here. There was a church here in Texas that had a guy walk in and killed a majority of the people. Are you talking about the only big church shooting I can remember in Texas recently was the guy walked in and shot 2 people, and a parishioner from about 30 feet away did 2 headshots in less than 3 seconds, and took him out. That's the one I remember. And then there was the other one. The guy walked in and shot, and then the neighbor from across the street heard the shooting and grabbed his AR, and him and a parishioner chased him down and killed him. So, yeah, you know what? We can bag on Texas. I bag on Texas left and right. But I will say this. When push comes to shove, Texan men take care of business when it needs to be done.
And women.
And women. But Texas men recently,
don't butt nothing, you chauvinist pig.
I am a chauvinist pig.
It's just every Marine. I don't know what is wrong with you.
It's the daisy chain immigration problem from a legal side, not plenty of it. Yeah. This is true. This is absolutely true. And hopefully,
here's what I think is going to happen. I think that this is what it'll be interesting to see how this investigation goes, and if there's any other state investigations that get launched. I'm going to find it. I want to watch it, because this will, if anything, once they start getting down that money trail and then heading down there, once they start doing that, this is going to point out where a lot of the sleeper cells are.
Okay, now Tambra's yelling at me too. Let's see here what Randy says. Years ago, there was a shooting in church in Dangerfield, Texas. My wife was a child in that one, still scarred from it. I believe that. I mean, that's it. I can't imagine what it would be like. Well, and survivors of school shootings too. So surviving a shooting period is a traumatic event, but surviving something that takes place in an area where you're supposed to be secure and safe makes it that much worse. Shannon says end times in the Bible are unfolding right now. We're living. I'm tired of exciting times. I want to be bored and old on my hammock. That's what I want.
It would be nice to have a couple of rocking chairs, just be able to sit in them and enjoy life.
It took 350 years for Europe to get the mess fixed 1,300 years ago. Now look at what has happened. We the U.S. are next.
Yeah, Europe is screaming now too. Now they want them all out.
And Gregory, here's what I actually feel sorry for the immigrants, because they're pushing the Europeans and pushing the Europeans. And let's be completely honest about it. The Europeans invented industrial genocide. The Europeans invented it. The British in South Africa with the Boer, the French in I
wasn't sure where you were going to go.
The Belgians in the Congo, Germany in World War II. The Europeans invented industrial genocide, and I would like to think that there's enough testosterone left in Europe that the men are finally going to stand up and protect their women and take care of business. And when it happens, it's not going to be pretty on either side.
Bonnie Blue, to your point, at least the investigation got open. He didn't open it by himself. It was the pressure of other people. And I'm guessing since the Texas Rangers are involved in leading the investigation, I would imagine it was pressure from other government members.
The Grumpy Texas contingent, how far is Plano from Fort Hood?
I don't know.
Bonnie Blue wants to know. When the Reconquista, the Spain 1490 start, basically, I want to say 14. It started before the 90s. I know that, but they need another El Cid. They need another El Cid and a Count Dracula, Vlad Tepes. They need a couple of them to pop up right now to take care of business. And maybe a Jan Sobieski too. Maybe a Jan Sobieski. But he was the Mongol. So,
You and Lynn are nerds.
Hey.
I love you both, but oh my God.
Rickster says Abbott is a traitor. Man,
everybody's like hating on Abbott.
There's some fighting words right there. People down in Texas, well, everybody but the liberals and illegal immigrants love Abbott down in Texas. Nah, you know what? No politician is perfect.
No,
seriously,
they're not.
No politician.
They're still politicians. About an hour and a half from Fort Hood, there, Bonnie Blue. Thank you, Tamara.
2 hours and
42 minutes,
according to Grateful Hearts Ranch.
So I guess it just depends on how you drive.
And the funny thing about it is in Texas, a 2.5 hour drive is just like next door.
Right.
Have you ever driven across Texas? My God, you could literally spend 24 hours driving across that state. And you get out in West Texas, there is not much out there.
Skeens, is that accurate that Houston has the highest population of Muslims?
No,
I don't know about that. It might be accurate.
I thought it was Dearborn.
Huh.
Let's see here.
Is that just in the state of Texas, or is that national?
Maybe in the state of Texas.
Okay.
Was at the Columbia, Missouri Sam's Club. 2 women in full burqas with scarves over their face.
That's here. They do that in Topeka too. It's ridiculous. And then they see my hat, or if I'm wearing my T-shirt, and if their husbands are with them, which they usually are, I get the nastiest, dirty looks. You would not believe the looks I get.
Put a one in chat if you don't know the story behind the symbol and the.
Man, every Christian in Texas should be wearing that.
That reminds me, I need to get one for the preacher so I can give it to him. I need to find his.
Oh, we don't have any more. We're gonna have to order more.
No, they're back there.
No, we don't have any more. We're sold out. I took the last one.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we have to order more. Just order 10 from Ghost, and then
let's see here. New York has 724,000, the highest Muslim population in terms of raw numbers.
Interesting. Yeah, this is why I don't. So then I'd be interested to know what Houston's numbers are. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. Look at nerdy side of me wanting to know the numbers.
El Cajon, California is 95% Muslim now.
You're kidding me.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. I'm gonna have to.
How did that happen?
Well, here's something. Anything we say on here and anything anybody says in chat,
do your own research.
Take it at face value, man. That's one of the things that we need to do. We need to make sure that we're doing it. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I want to double check that, because that just seems like that.
I know El Cajon.
Totally unbelievable. I guess Dearborn is in second place now. My, how things have changed.
Interesting. I know El Cajon. Those are some stomping grounds of mine from as a kid.
Remember the Wiener Schnitzel there on El Cajon Boulevard?
There were so many. There's so much. So El Cajon, Santee, Lakeside, in that area, all in there. There's a lot of course. I was a teenager, so that was 30 years ago.
Was Alberto's in El Cajon?
Yeah, no, Alberto's was in Santee.
They were in Santee.
I think that was considered Santee. It might have been El Cajon, but
Bonnie Blue's asking what shirt. So Bonnie, we have
T-shirt, just like
we have T-shirts that are olive drab.
Do you want me to go get one?
He said we didn't have any
T-shirts, not hats.
I want to get a T-shirt.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes, we have T-shirts.
Well, no, you don't need to go get one. So we have T-shirts that are this color that have that logo or that symbol and Never Alone on them.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to get one for the pastor, because he's an Army chaplain and he will appreciate it.
Yeah. Does everybody remember the meaning behind that symbol? But I get the dirtiest looks from Muslims with this when I wear my hat all the time. And it looks like
Richter says he was there 3 weeks ago and everything is Middle Eastern. That's crazy.
Everything has been what?
Middle Eastern.
That is weird.
That is totally crazy.
Like KKK stomping grounds. I kid you not. Just 30 years ago. That's bizarre.
Hamtramck, Michigan used to be a Polish city. within Detroit. Now it's mostly Somali Muslims and carrying the fight against the rainbow people.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? But
Yeah,
all the rainbow people want to free Palestine, and
yeah,
I just
well, this is I mean, that brings up a whole conversation about the intersectionality of the left and the victim Olympics. Who's the bigger oppressed person? Who's the bigger victim?
Son of Hacks. I don't have any problem with any Muslim, none whatsoever, except for the ones that want to kill me. Them I got a problem with, and they'd never shake my hand.
Well, you know what? We had this conversation at the camp out. So
not all of you are mafia down there, Rabid. That's not what I said. I said there is a Ozark mafia down there.
They're all lake mafia at some level. They may not be associated with
You're calling them lake mafia? I didn't call them lake mafia.
The lake mafia. I mean,
Chris called them when Chris was telling me his story, because he had a run-in with them. That's how I know they exist. Yeah. And anyway, so
Santee is where she and her parents lived whenever we met.
Yeah.
In fact, we spent the
who asked that?
Rickster.
Yeah.
We spent the night before I deployed to the Persian Gulf.
You don't need to give all that information, because like literally
we spent it
but you don't know who used it, like who else is in there and who's watching. And when you start one of the questions on your credit for people to use your social security number, when they look up your credit, they need to know what the places that you've lived and where you were born.
They can get that. I guarantee you they can get that without me saying it.
They would have to have my maiden name.
Well, and I didn't give it to them, did I? But I was going to say, we spent the night before I deployed to the Persian Gulf at the Santee Drive-In, and we watched a double feature of Falling Down and The Army of Darkness with Bruce Campbell. Or was it Army of Darkness? Is that the name of it? Anyway. She didn't like that movie. She liked Falling Down was okay.
I don't remember it.
Oh, you don't?
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I've slept since then. So, yeah.
Oh, see, Rabbit.
He likes Lake Mafia. And he used to start that now.
I'll tell you what. I will make a design and put it on our bonfire store, and I'll send you the link. You can get one. Get one from there.
Jane and Bunny Blue would like to know what it is.
Okay, so
everybody else, please be patient, or let this be a fresh reminder for you.
So this symbol right here is the Arab letter Noon, N-O-O-N, and it is the equivalent of our N, right? Our letter N. And so whenever ISIS went into northern Iraq and Syria, and started taking over all these Christian communities, they would take this symbol and they would paint it on the door of the Christians, symbolizing Nasrani. So this is called the Nasrani symbol, right? And Nasrani is Arabic for Nazarist, somebody who believes in Christ, somebody who believes in the Nazarene. And so they would use that to identify households that could be taxed by jizya, and these people could go in and the jihadis could abuse them whenever they wanted. They were second-class citizens or worse. And so the Arab Christians in the area they took this symbol and took it from a symbol of hate and turned it into a symbol of hope by adding never alone. So this symbol and never alone stands for, as long as I believe in God, I'm never walking alone. And that's what that means. And so we got it on the hat, and the t-shirts are military olive drab or olive green, so that anybody that's training tactically can wear the shirt underneath their armor or their uniforms, so that they're never alone. So they've got a reminder that no matter what, they're never alone.
Get out of the corner.
So that's what that's about. And anytime I sell one of these shirts, I tell the person the story, and I say, you have to repeat.
A lot of people, you don't even have to tell the story. A lot of military people already know what it means.
Yeah, a lot of people do know, but they, and
it's fun because we get stories back from them when they're wearing them in the airport, and they said all of a sudden they're hugging each other, and
total strangers
hugging each other.
And I've had it happen. Total strangers coming up and going, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry. We have a chick that is a little off base.
well, hey, Randy.
And it just stares at the leg of the heater brooder, and it chirps because it thinks it's stuck and it won't just move.
Randy, get on our email. It's on the description on our YouTube channel. Get on our email, get our and send us your address.
Can't the hat he can order right off the website and it'll be drop shipped?
Nope.
No.
Well, he'll drop ship it, but we have to order it.
Okay, yeah, we'll order it and drop ship it directly to you, Randy.
We can if you want one, we can Venmo. These are
we can Venmo too.
35 is what they are.
Yeah.
So the hats are 35.
No, the hats were 35.
Yeah, the hats are 35, and we can have it drop shipped directly to your house. So you just got to contact us and pay for it, and then we'll get it drop shipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are, you know what? They're I was impressed.
Shipping, I'll have to get, I think one hat is not bad. It's probably somewhere around $10 or something. I don't know what it's going to cost us because it comes from North Carolina. When we were
drop shipping it, the 35 was in the price of that.
Oh, the shipping included in that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're not making, if we're drop shipping the hats, we're not making but a couple of bucks, so it's not a big,
Okay.
It's when we're selling them at the festivals, we make
more money.
But no, Ghost really outdid himself because I was not expecting hats this quality, but I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? Right
they're mesh.
They're the mesh in back, but this is good quality.
Yeah.
Good quality fabric.
These are nicer hats.
And they're distressed.
Yeah. These are nicer hats. And Randy, do you know how to get a hold of our Venmo? So I believe it is actually under Grumpy Acres Farm.
Well, we can send him the Venmo once we get his address.
But I gotta have.
We'll get his address. We'll have him Venmo the money, and then we'll order it.
Randy, you wanna email us your QR code, and then that way I can just copy your QR code and send you a what you call it.
Tambra's getting militant tonight, man. We got her started. She's out ready to play cowboys and Muslims.
Yeah. So you may be doing that sooner than you think, Tambra.
Well, and
there's some rumors about October. There always is. There's something about that first week of October.
Well,
always around my freaking birthday. I don't know why everybody's got to ruin my birthday.
And I know anybody that comes in and watches this video through, they're gonna hear me talking. They're gonna call me bigoted.
Oh yeah,
and they're gonna call me racist.
Yeah.
And
the video is gonna get reported, and we're gonna be taken off for 2 weeks.
I didn't say I have not advocated any violence. I'm against violence. I'm for self-defense, but going out and proactively doing something is wrong, right?
Tambra, you hear over 50 chicks because I just sold 10 yesterday.
Yep. And did you pull the one that was hatching last night? Did it survive?
No, there was nothing hatching last night. It was just a spot on the egg.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what I kept checking because I'm like, do I have to help this little booger? Like, what's going on? And no, nothing hatched. So they should start hatching. They'll start hatching this week. It'll probably be the end of this week. And then I need them to hatch so I can start putting another round. I did get a full incubator down last night, full.
But those are mostly guineas and.
No,
you got more guinea eggs.
One turkey egg and then 2 guineas. I don't know if I have any more room for eggs. I'll look and see what I've got.
I'll eat them.
I don't. Well, the guinea eggs you can eat.
Okay.
Don't eat the turkey eggs.
They're so good.
I know, but there's going to be a turkey shortage.
She got 15 quail.
Beautiful.
What kind of quail do you raise? So we used to raise the. I'm gonna call them quatrain, but that's not the right word for them. It starts with a Q, but they're the little tiny ones.
We're talking about getting back into quail again.
Yeah, maybe. I want something bigger though.
I want something like a Cornish hen, is what I want. That's what Mama wants.
There it is. Pronounce that. Quatrix, Cortex.
No.
The little tiny ones. I like that
French? What is that? French or?
Yeah, it's got to be French.
I don't speak French.
Quatrix. Anyway,
that looks like there's an N in there.
That's
you're saying R.
Oh,
the Japanese quill.
Well, that explains a lot.
That's why you couldn't pronounce it.
She used to make Scotch eggs out of the eggs, and they were little tiny bite-sized ones. And then she made Scotch eggs out of chicken eggs. The quail eggs are much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Rabbit, if you can get that deal, I would fill up with more of the turkey breast. And then if you can find a whole turkey, I would go ahead and put at a good price. I would go ahead and put that in your freezer as well. If you don't have any that can be butchered for you. But
there was turkey pox ran rampant last winter, and
to the point that the state of Kansas shut down hunting season early, and now magically it's spread to flocks everywhere.
That's like gluttonous. Flu. That's like gluttonous HG.
Improve a Scotch egg using an emu. That's huge. I like Scotch eggs I do it with quail eggs.
I don't know.
That's why I want quail again.
On a realistic level, I'm not sure you could cook the egg properly to do Scotch eggs.
That's a pretty big egg.
You'd have to like pre-cook the egg, and then
that's almost like a gigantic meatloaf. Like, by the time you get the sausage and everything around it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it'd be
bigger than a football.
Yeah.
It does present a good mental image though, doesn't it?
No, could you imagine cutting into that thing and serving it to a company?
That'd be awesome.
Because you couldn't eat it by yourself.
No.
And so that'd be a lot of yolk. A lot of egg, a lot of yolk.
So
to balance that, because you imagine you'd have to use 20 pounds of sausage to balance the egg.
Len did the same thing. He roasted one last night, and he's putting stock. Doing stock now.
Yeah, I like stuffing them, and so but here's the deal. So a guy that our son works with, he raises quail, and he's got a good program figured out. And so he has 3 generations of quail. So every year they collect all of the babies and they hatch them, and then they got the middle. They're the ones that are laying the eggs, and then the older ones, the third. Well, I guess they would be the third year. The third year. So the third year ones, they're selling them to the Mexicans. Apparently, it's a delicacy for them. So, so he's making that work pretty well.
The Coterie are too small to eat. I'm sorry, they're just way too small to eat. They're like one bite, and it's gone.
The way that you eat. Not the way everybody else eats.
Just a little tiny leg.
Fine. Find me a bigger quail.
Let's get rabbits going first.
I mean, why can't you do both at the same time?
How hard? I don't multitask well anymore. Because there's so much multitasking.
Well, you realize we have rabbits coming in a month.
Yeah, I'm
literally a month today.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get everything set up.
Okay.
I need to clarify with him and make sure that he's bringing a couple.
He showed pictures of the baby bunnies, but he didn't specifically use your name.
We've got somebody that is moving into the community from Texas, and he raised, I can't remember the name of them, but they're a
I don't want pheasant.
They're a hot weather hardy rabbit.
Yeah. And pheasant are wild around here, Skeins. So are the quail, but the quail that are around here are small.
Yeah. Well, they're bobwhite quail, and they're not that small. I mean, you hunt quail, you hunt bobwhite.
Well, I know you'd have to get a ton. That's more for stews and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
About to put you in time out. Just saying. But me, who? Oh, Tamara and HG. So I don't know, but yeah, no, I don't know. I'll tell you what, Garen asked me, he said, so you're ready to quit working? And so we'll take a little bit on that. And I got to tell you, it's interesting because now I can keep up with the comments faster. And I really enjoyed everybody today. So okay, I haven't been peopled for a long time.
So Randy says the Coterie are bigger quail, and they're good. So the ones we had were.
So those must not have been that.
Yeah, the ones we had were literally about that big.
I thought they were a little bit bigger than that.
Maybe a little bit bigger, but they weren't. Seriously, they weren't.
They weren't the size of a Cornish hen that you would get. You get the Cornish hens and like that That's ideally what I would like to have.
I think Cornish hen's not a quail.
I don't know.
Somebody look up Cornish hens.
Skane said something about pheasant. Is that what she meant?
No, pheasants are big.
Well, see, I think pheasants are big too. We have them wild around here. We have pheasants living right off of the corner of our road.
So to me, quail and pheasant and all these other game birds, that's what the rich people ate. And we ate chicken. We didn't have the money to go hunting these things, and we just had chicken. So I don't know all the different game birds, and I mean I know them, but I'm not intimate with them, if you will.
I hope you're not intimate with them.
Hey, who's a perv now?
That's not me.
That was kind of pervy.
Your mouth.
Cornish hens are a regular chicken that is bred for meat production, only fast growth, and they butcher them when they're small.
They're what are they?
They're just a regular chicken, apparently.
Oh, really? I don't want to waste a whole chicken.
I don't think I ate a Cornish hen until I married her and we had some money.
Before I bought them at Aldi's for 50 cents.
Yeah, once we moved to Kansas City and I got a decent job. When I was in the Marine Corps, it was turkey and rice casserole.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the Cornish. Well, we didn't have an Aldi in Virginia or DC, so there wasn't one there. But yeah. Oh man, I'm cracking. I don't think I'm supposed to be cracking. Did you not hear that when I sat down?
Hey, stay off the table.
But maybe I'm supposed to be cracking. Like I'm itching. My nerves itch so bad, and supposedly it's a sign of healing. I feel like I'm a meth head. You know how they always scratching all the time, and so I don't know. I got some weird stuff going on.
Cornish hen and Cornish cross are different things. One is small and one is freakishly big. Yeah, absolutely.
So okay, so HG. So the Cornish hens. Can those be reproduced? Because like Cornish cross, you can't breed Cornish hens. Then I could just put the Cornish hens out here with the chickens.
Let's see.
I had some that looked small like Cornish hens. I do have some of those.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know what those are.
Those are just regular chickens that are a small breed. I
might have some of those.
Holy moly.
$105
for 6 of them.
Oh, forget it.
The page I just looked up has 6 Cornish game hens hatching for $106. That's insane.
I'm not doing that.
That is insane. Let's see here. Richard says I hunt everything from quail to moose. Well, I love some moose. That's some good meat.
How's it getting moose in Utah?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's like desert moose.
Of course, you know
what does the desert moose look like?
Well, no, all of Utah is not desert. I don't know.
I don't know.
They got elk in Tennessee now. So
Idaho and Washington have moose.
Oh, speaking about things that probably should not be.
Uh-oh.
I mean, if Utah moose are not meant to be, this story will scare the heck out of you. Did you guys see the story about the outfit up in Montana that they got DNA, direwolf DNA from a sample 13,000 years old, and they were able to decode it, and they took dog embryo and they resequenced the DNA in these embryos to have direwolf traits. And
what are you saying? Direwolf?
A direwolf. So direwolves are about 5 foot tall at the shoulder. They went extinct 13,000 years ago.
Why are they doing that?
Well, and so they got these puppies. They got 2 males and 1 female. The males are Romulus and Remus, and the other one is the female is Khaleesi is the names. But they birthed them, and there's video out there of these pups and the way they look. And
don't you think things are extinct for a reason?
Well, I saw Jurassic Park, and I know what happened.
I don't want to live on that island.
Nature has a way. They're on like a 2,000 acre fenced in reserve.
for now.
But you know as well as I do that
A little
they'll
dog can jump 4 feet. A bigger dog, that you look at the German Shepherds, I look at Fancy, can jump 6 feet.
Yeah, there you go. Wasn't there a movie about that? Yeah, and it didn't turn out very well.
Go well.
Yeah, you know, and I from a scientific point of view, yeah, it's really cool. It's cool that they did that, but I don't see much good coming out of it.
I don't see much good coming out of it.
There's these geneticists that want to bring back these animals, and
I mean, while we're at it, why don't we just bring the dinosaurs back?
Well, they want to clone these things and bring them back. It scares me because the world was a different place back then.
Yeah.
And who knows what diseases and germs they'll bring back.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. There's a reason why they all died.
Yeah, Lynn's absolutely right. They did not create a dire wolf. They changed the current wolf's traits to a dire wolf. Yes, to be completely clear, they did not clone a dire wolf. They made a replica of a dire wolf. And it's actually they're actually were they wolves that they
look at that? Why did you say these animals are going to live a poor life? Why?
Because they're going to be living in captivity and they're going to be experimented on, and
you don't think they'll just leave it at what horrific things they've already done?
No telling what physical problems they're going to have because the mucking around in the DNA. The island of absolutely crazy.
Rabbit said they've already brought the mammoth back. It's been successful.
But yeah,
I didn't know that.
And like I said, from a scientific standpoint, it's really interesting. But from a moral standpoint, that's questionable.
What? Wait, I'm confused. Hogs, they reintroduced the mammoth where you are?
No, they reintroduced the moose. They haven't done a mammoth.
Wait, who's talking about moose? They were talking about mammoth.
Rick was talking about the moose.
That was way before even we were creating other animals out of nothing. So I don't know. Can you clarify that, Hogs, for me, please?
Yeah, dire wolf, and this is where the problem comes in, right, Lynn? Because dire wolves are built to hunt large animals.
Would that put us at the bottom of the food chain?
Okay, so if you live in wolf country and a wolf pack is moving through your area, they tend to the public safety people tend to say stay away from the wolves because a hungry wolf pack will kill you.
They'll do some damage. Oh, she was talking about wolves.
Oh, wolves. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, because I was really confused. This is what happens when I become a working woman. I can't think straight. Maybe I do need to take the whole day Tuesdays off before
send me up there and so I get a moose hunting license. How much are they? I know. So Colorado out-of-state elk licenses are $400, and you're put into a lotto, and there's no guarantee that you're gonna get it. You're gonna pull a ticket. So that's one of the reasons why I've never done it. Mm-hmm. I'd love to go elk hunting, but it's expensive. The dodo bird, yes. I think the dodo bird is contemporary enough that there wouldn't be a lot of health risks involved. They didn't go extinct until the late 1800s.
Dodo bird. Like the dodo bird in the cartoons dodo bird?
Yeah,
I always thought that was like a made-up bird.
No, dodo birds are real.
I did not know that dodo birds
were Woolly Mammoth de-extinction project. Look it up. Apparently it's a real thing.
Wow.
It was the mammoth moose or woolly moose, woolly mouse.
Moose.
They still only live on the property, not out in nature.
I don't know. I think that's messing with stuff.
Yeah, there's elk in Arkansas now. Is that I wonder if that's the same herd because they introduced them into southern Missouri and Tennessee at the same time, and but I think they introduced the Tennessee herd on the eastern side of the state.
She says in Arkansas. So
yeah.
So if they're in Missouri and Arkansas, wouldn't they be in Kansas?
No, that's not the right.
It's over on the Tennessee side.
Well, they're down in southern Missouri, northern Arkansas. I don't know. I mean,
elk are at our elevation in Colorado. Why couldn't we have elk?
Because we don't have the tree cover and stuff.
Oh. I guess I should be careful what I ask for him and start having woolly mammoths and great big wolves.
Wolves
out
are
in my
wolves are
backyard.
extinct in California. Department of Fish and Game decided to reintroduce the wolves. Now they are killing cattle and ranches in the state. Yeah, that's a huge.
It's a problem a lot of places.
In Wyoming and Utah and South and North Dakota, it's the and this is the problem.
You know what's showing up here now is a lot of the mountain lions are showing up here,
and we are right on the edge of their traditional habitat.
Yeah,
right on the edge. Because you drive 30 minutes west of us, and you're in the Flint Hills.
Right.
You're out on the prairie.
Sure.
Let's see here. What is it? HG says in all counties outside the core elk management zone, Boone, Carroll, Madison, Newton, and Searcy counties, hunters may take any elk they see while the deer hunting with muzzleloaders and archery equipment.
There you go.
I remember in Missouri there was gosh darn it.
Do you have to have a license for that?
Yes.
Oh, to take, but one license and you can take as many as you want.
They no, you can only get one.
Oh.
They had a young girl, 11-year-old girl, took a record-breaking elk in Missouri by accident because her and her father thought it was a deer, and they didn't get prosecuted.
Did they get to eat it?
Yeah, they kept it. They were allowed to keep it.
Why do you gotta hurt me?
Yeah, some scientists think they're God. Like one Anthony Fauci. He is the science. Just ask him.
$3.50 for you.
$3.50 for you. Moose price isn't out yet. Is it a lotto or is it a
guaranteed
a straight permit? Get off the table. Randy, take it easy.
Night, Randy. What is your issue? Why are you coming across me to do that to him?
So Freya's sitting here out of frame, taking her paw and going like this on me. And she knows that I hate that. She knows that I hate it. Now Dolly's here underneath my feet and Freya's bopping her on the nose with her paw because she doesn't want her up here. Oh my goodness. Well, look, we've been at this for about an hour and a half. You guys
I gotta be to work early.
You guys got anything else you wanna she's Skane, she's neurotic and she wants attention.
And now she's spoiled because you spoil her every time you come here.
I guess they've got elk out in western Nebraska out by Fort Robinson, don't they?
Oh, girl. Oh my gosh. Seriously.
Now she's got two dogs on her lap.
I'm like so glad I went. Ow! Ow!
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. A lot of scientists need to follow that. Scientists and big booty girls in spandex.
I need a scientist to take care of these big booty girls.
Can you guys seriously?
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
So
I'm glad.
So hang on a second, guys. Get
you
down.
Really have
everybody
to get down, please.
Everybody down.
You heard? Oh. So the dogs, when they move and they don't want to go somewhere, I don't know if you guys have border collies or not, or if you ever had them, they will wrap their hands around me, their arms, but they use their claws so that he can't get them off. And my nerves have not healed from the surgery, so everything is hypersensitive. So I apologize, but
okay.
So when I say
so we're gonna close it up. I need to go put chickens away. Going forward this week, tomorrow, I've got the second in the Prepper Homesteader Continuum series. We're going to talk about
how did that go?
The core aspects. It's like almost 200 views.
Good.
I mean, did anybody watch that and did you find it interesting or entertaining? If you did, there's more of it coming. Also, I've been working more on the psyops and propaganda video. I kind of wish I would have done it before I did the Prepper Homesteader one now, because of everything that's going on with the tariffs and all that stuff. We we are being subjected to a massive psyop in regards to the tariffs. And it just, we need to be able to learn how to see it and combat it. And then I started doing research on another series on it's an offshoot of the propaganda video, but it's how some propaganda is actually not propaganda. It's propaganda, but it's true, if that makes sense. And I just kind of segued off the main path with the propaganda line of thought and ran into this, and it was a very interesting topic. Now here's my question for you guys. What, homesteading wise, what topics do you want to hear about? What would you like me to do more research on and share either my expertise or what I or experience, not expertise.
What you can come up with?
Yeah, what do you guys want to see from our channel?
So I have one, and it's something we've actually been talking about that kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, because now that we're really selling animals and kind of back to where we were, our livestock was not prepared for that in numbers. It just kind of came across really fast for us, which we're grateful, don't get me wrong. But now the concern is, how much protein do you actually need for your family to store on the hoof? Because you have to think about accidents. You have to think about wolves. I've seen a wolf here.
Out eating your production.
Out eating your production.
Well,
and simple way to put it right there.
See, herd management is something that I've never been good at. I've not done a good job.
Gregory, any suggestions on that? You might know.
Yeah. So I actually need to learn more about that, and I need to become better at it so we can start managing it better.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming in the next week or so.
Oh, he's not on here. He had to go check
but
on the cows.
If you guys have any topics that you want to discuss, I'm more than happy to do the research and share what I find out with you. And the reason why I enjoy doing that is because that's how you learn. You learn the most by teaching other. Okay, I'm gonna use the word teach, but that's not a good word to use. But you learn the most about instructing other people on how to do stuff, plain and simple.
Talk to the rooster. He's generational cattle people. Who's Rooster? Do you know Rooster?
I don't know Rooster, but I can find out who it is.
Okay.
Farm hogs, farm ponds, stock them. That's protein in the water.
Yeah, we would like to count on that. We can't because of the drought. So we really won't know where we're at with that. But stock ponds are a great idea. And if we could keep one from drying up.
Homestead stuff, Anti says. Well, okay, now here's an issue, guys. This is something right. Okay, we got to go here pretty quick. But here's an issue.
Oh, he meant Rickster.
I want to get away from doing long form content because it just takes so long to film it and edit it and get it on. And quite frankly, I don't get the interaction with everybody like I enjoy. So I enjoy doing lives because I can get instant feedback and I can ask you guys questions and get your opinions and get people thinking. So I want to start doing more live content.
Did you see what Leonard said?
I'm still gonna do the walks and stuff because those are easy to film and edit. But as far as the set pieces go, those are going to be few and far between. Maybe if she starts doing cooking videos again, I don't know.
If I can get healed, guys, that's no problem. But last thing you want is to see me struggling with pots and pans.
just spitballing here. SHTF. What's his first day, week, etc. If you haven't prepared.
Yikes.
No, that is an interesting proposition.
That may be one all in itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
Yeah, because you if you're not prepared and something really bad happens.
Yeah.
Why manual transmissions are better than automatic or side by side hydrostat tranny versus.
He's not a mechanic.
Trust
me, I know he's not a mechanic.
You know what, HG? If you really want that, after this is over, you put a comment down there.
Are you gonna call Hacks?
I will call Hacks, and we will do a live stream discussing the difference between a hydrostatic and a
Manual
and a
transmission.
CVT,
Oh,
and which is
CVT.
better, manual or automatic.
Okay.
We will have that conversation with a master mechanic. Rickster wants medicinal herbs. Could you do a live on that if we put together a script and everything for you?
If I can follow the script, yeah, but
It's not that hard.
The medicinal herbs, and I actually have some. Didn't I do the comfrey? Did I not do the comfrey and comfrey salve?
That was a long time ago.
I thought I did comfrey and comfrey salve, and I think I also did the rooting hormone and all of that stuff. I'll go back. I believe I did do that. I know I did that because I get comments. I get questions on it once in a while.
I love my Kubota, the hydrostatic on the Kubota. I love that. Love that little tractor. Okay, guys, listen. You go have a great week this week. Just
I guess you and Darren are gonna do a live. My father hacks for the homestead. Got you, Hippocrates.
But seriously, go out, do an assessment of your situation and figure out what holes you need to fill and start filling them. We have been granted some very precious time. Where
Rabbit says homesteading alone would be an interesting one.
Okay. That one I'd have to talk to somebody else because we've always had community.
Yeah.
Richter said that the comfrey one was years ago. Probably need to update it.
But I don't need to update that. You look, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And
you're saying we can't make a better video now than we did 3 years ago and present better information.
It's the same information. Like,
no,
seriously, it's the same information.
Presentation.
Y'all are out your minds. It's the same information.
Do you have anything to say to these people before we say goodnight?
Yes.
Okay.
We appreciate everybody being here. Be at least 10% better tomorrow than you were today.
You want to support the channel? Go hit the links down below. If you want a hat, anybody, send us your address and we'll figure out how to get the money from you, and we'll have Ghost make one and drop ship it directly to your house.
We'd like you all to stick around because the one thing we're getting that time of year of super importance, foodforestnursery.com has been a great supporter of our channel and have sent us some really great product. We actually really believe in what he's doing. And so he's got some great product down there that hasn't failed us so far. First year fruit production and on the figs that I got, I've just been very impressed. So we're going to have his commercial come on right after this, and it's got the link so that we can get y'all 10% off of your order and free shipping over a certain dollar amount.
Right.
So go in there and see what he's got. He will not ship it to you if it's freezing. He'll wait, and he's got the exact time that it takes to send it to you and when you need it to successfully put it in the ground. And each bush, tree, all of that comes with a 365-day warranty guarantee, money back guarantee warranty.
They are a company worth supporting, guys.
Correct. Like-minded folks.
And most importantly, I want you guys to go out tomorrow and live a life done free. Okay.